Hey everyone, this is Joe in General, your resident reason and evidence enthusiast. It's your weekly Bitcoin price analysis update. It's Wednesday, the 19th of April, 2017. Of course, I'll be talking about the Bitcoin price, what's been happening in the last week and where it may be going in the coming week. But I'll also be talking about an altcoin called Einsteinium. This is the coin that I gave a recommendation for last week. We're going to touch upon its price now, have a look at its progress. There's been some interesting developments, let me just say that much. But onto the Bitcoin price first. Of course, we're using the bitcoinwisdom.com website. We're using the Bitstamp exchange and it's priced in US dollars. Now, last week, we're actually at a similar price now than we were last week, but we've had a little bit of a dip. Now, last week, we were sitting around a little bit over $1,200 USD. It was at 1210. And we'd had a number of consecutive green candles. This is based on the 3-day time chart. So it was going up and down a little bit, but based on the 3-day time chart, 4 green candles in a row. So we were definitely up for a slight retracement because, of course, the price never just goes up continually. So I was calling for a little bit of a price retracement, and I think I was saying that the price may go down to, I think it was the 50% or possibly the 38.2% Fibonacci level based on this high and this low. And what we've done since then is we have had a bit of a retracement, not down all the way to the 50% level, but close-ish to. So a small retracement. We retraced from approximately 1220 USD and we retraced down to around about 1140 USD. And since then we have tracked back up over the 61.8 percentile here, again from this high, calculated from this high of 1350 and this low of 891. So where to go from here? Now, in my last video, I did talk about where the price may go over the next few weeks as such, maybe even next month or two. So that opinion still stands. So maybe check out that video. That's the video dated April the 12th. 2017. But very quickly, of course, we've got this resistance level here of 1260 USD. We do need to pierce above that and then stay above that a little bit for, to be confident that we're not going to see much lower prices. And obviously for the price to beat the all-time high of 1350, we want to see it knock on that door here a little bit and then eventually pierce through. But the more likely scenario, I think, is we're going to see a bit of a consolidation through time, sort of in a small trading range, probably between this level here of between 1250 to 1260, sort of knocking on that door and maybe coming back down to the 50% level of 1120. Or possibly even further down to the 38.2 of 1066. And in my last video, I was talking about a possible revisit of the bottom end of the trend channel. My subscribers, you always get to see the longer term trend channel here, so I'll just zoom out now and show you that. That's the high end of the trend channel and the low end of the trend channel. But we could certainly see a test again of the bottom end of this trend channel. I was calling last week that we won't see the $1,000 psychological barrier broken significantly anymore, and I still stand with that until further notice. So that's it with the Bitcoin price. Not a lot is happening in the last week, but things are still looking positive for longer term gains. Of course, if you want to find out where I think the price will be going over the longer term of 2017, you guys have seen this video before, my subscribers I'm sure, but for newcomers it's called Bitcoin Price Prediction for 2017. I'll put a link to that in the info section. I'll pin it on the YouTube page, and I'll also add a card and an end screen as well, so you've got lots of opportunities to click on the link to check out that video. Now on to Einsteinium. This is where the price was last week, and what I was talking about was I liked this little step up, and I liked the higher highs and the higher lows. And I liked this as an opportunity for the price to go higher in the short term. And we were sitting around about $517, 517 that is, not dollars, just 517. And I was pretty confident that the price may be going higher. I was talking about putting in a buy order around this kind of price and then maybe selling out at about 600 because there was a large sell wall, and then buying back when it retraces a little bit. But I was liking its longer term prospects as well. Now, since then, let's head over to the Poloniex website, and this is where we are right now. So let me move that over here. There we go. So here is 517 is sitting around about there. And this is last week. And since then, we've had a pretty nice little rise. So we did actually, this is on the 1-day time chart, we did see that test of 600. And then it did retrace a little bit. So I did put in a sell order at 600. And then it did come back down and I did buy back in again. And I've been doing some selling at high levels and then buying back at lower levels. It hasn't been perfect every single time, but I have been, riding the wave. So since this 517 level, we've come all the way up to a high of 1360. Where are we? Right here, 1360. Let's see if I can zoom in a little further. A high of 1360, and we have since retraced back down to around about 800 level. I think this might be quite possibly another healthy level to consider buying in. Of course, do your own research. But I don't think we've seen the highs just yet. Of course, I could be wrong, but I'll show you the reason why. And it's because of this pattern here. This doesn't look to me like a typical blow off top and then a large retracement down, or a quick retracement down to previous lower levels or the previous breakout level. So if you take a look at a previous sort of blow off top, it's this one here, and look at the difference. What you'll see is a number of days going up, and you'll see this big spike up, and then it sort of retraces about 50%, and then the next day a really big spike up, and then a very large retracement back down. And that's what you tend to see with blow off tops and then large retracements back down to previous lows or previous breakout points. So you'll see a couple of small green candles, large green candle, very large green candle. This is on the 1-day time chart, and then some successive retracement candles, some downside red candles. But when you pull back out to where we are now, you don't see the same kind of pattern. You do see the couple of days worth of larger green candles over here. But this one here, it's pretty weird. There's no real massive spike. You see the high here on this second large green candle day of 1298 or 1296, I think was the exact top. And then what you would want to see if you were thinking that it was going to have a blow off top and then a very quick retracement down to previous breakout levels, you'd want to see this top out at much higher. You'd want to see it top out at least probably 1500, 1600, but no, it only pierced above about another 60 or so basis points, or 60 or so, tokens, if you want to call it that. But it hasn't certainly come up far enough to warrant, I think, this being the top. And since then, it hasn't had a very quick retracement down. It's actually had a green candle day as well. So what I think is we may be consolidating around about this price here of around about 800. That's my non-financial advice opinion. So we have a look at the 2-hour time frame and punch in. What you'll see there's the top of 1360. We have retraced, and look at this level right here. That's kind of the second breakout point, coming up from 500, then came up to a little bit over 1,000. Then it started consolidating here around about the 800 mark, and then it went up to 1296, back down, then back up to the top of 1360, and now it has since settled or come back down to the 800 mark, which was this previous intermediate breakout point. And so I think we're kind of possibly at the bottom at the moment of this little retracement. Again, I could be wrong, but this may be another good buying opportunity for then a rally up to newer highs later on. Now, of course, as I said, I could be wrong. Do your own due diligence. And of course, I would love to hear your opinion. If you'd like to post a comment, if you're a person who does altcoin analysis or Bitcoin analysis as well, I want to hear your comments. Don't just take my word for it. I want to hear your opinion. Post the comment below and let me know what you think. Where do you think EMC2 Einsteinium is going? Do you think it is an intermediate low and we're going to see higher prices, or do you think we're going to head all the way back down to that breakup price of 500 or possibly even lower? Give me your opinion. So as usual, please subscribe to my channel if you'd like to stay updated with what's going on with the Bitcoin price. And that's it. Stay safe, stay informed. Speak soon.